Hey everybody, this is Renae from The Space Between, and you're listening to The Space Between podcast, the show that lets you listen to how the fans feel about the music, the art behind 31 years of the Dave Matthews Band. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, this is Renae with The Space Between podcast. I'm Renae Lipsmeyer. We are here in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is just a short drive from where I took a break between tour dates. So we were in Myrtle Beach for a couple days, so be sure to look for The Space Between podcast on Facebook. That's where you can follow all the fun things that we do in between these takes. If you're interested in watching dumbasses do dumb shit, right? Then watch us because we're a lot of fun, or at least I'm having a blast. So we're in Wilmington, North Carolina, where tonight is, it's show day, but yet we are not at the show yet because we're celebrating a couple of fans. I guess, what would you call this? Like, kind of it's a celebration that they have been able to enjoy this many Dave Matthews Band concerts. We know that fans out there are in the hundreds, in the 200s, in the 300s, in the 400s. But tonight we have a guy that this is his 500th show, Mr. Josh Roberts. But also we are celebrating Ridge Richter. Tonight is his 150th show, and so we celebrate both of those guys because they love the band, and that's what this podcast is about, is the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. So we're going to take a couple of shots, see who's here, and we'll interview a few fans from the celebration. Hey guys, it's Renae again. I've got a couple of fans that are here at our celebration right before Wilmington's top 7 of the U.S. tour for the Dave Matthews Band. I'm going to let her tell us where she's from and what the Dave Matthews Band means to her.
All right, so I'm Melissa Schwartz, originally from down here from Raleigh, originally from California, down here for Wilmington and for Charleston, and I'll be in Alpharetta, and Dave has saved my life. I don't know how many times. Saw them the first time in 2001. Was gifted a pit ticket for the LA show when Macy Gray opened for them. And yes, and that was the very first time I saw them live, and I've been hooked ever since.
With a show like that, how could you not? Because it would just make you want to come back anyways. Like, be like, what the fuck are they going to do next, right?
But the problem was, being on the West Coast, I didn't see them a whole lot. So I moved out here in 2000, about the same time, 2001, and then got to know them up and down the coast here, and just been following them ever since. Love it. What's really cool is when I can turn my students on to Dave Matthews. Because I'm a counselor. So I have one of my students actually sent me a friend request. He's like, you don't remember me, but I graduated in 2012. You got me turned on to Dave Matthews Band, and my mother and I are going to Charleston for night 1 and 2 and hope to see you there. And I'm like, well, gee, there you go. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. That was really cool. Very weird, but cool. Yeah.
So tell me, any request tonight, if you could ask Dave, like, for one request, what can you narrow that down, and what would it be? Top 5.
Drunken Soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, Drunken Soldier. I'd be good with that.
I think the whole fan base would be really good with that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Can you imagine just the noise that would be all over the social media pages if we get Drunken Soldier?
Oh yeah, well it'll be interesting because it's, first time venue, and for them, and it's going to be interesting to hear, what the sight line's going to be, the sound, the everything.
Right.
But hey, we're all here in this beautiful North Carolina weather. You can't beat it.
No, I'm so happy it's not hot today. We have got just the best weather. So again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can watch this on YouTube and get to see Melissa's face and all of the wonderful things, all of the wonderful fans that are here to see the Dave Matthews Band. So again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to tune in to the Space Between podcast on YouTube, and you can see everything. Again, be sure to follow us on all the socials. Melissa, thank you so much for being on our show. This is what it's all about, guys. This is what it's all about right here. Just get people connecting over, like, just things in common, right?
Yep.
Passions that are the same.
We're all family here.
That's all it is. And I love it. It was good to meet you. Absolutely.
Take care.
Hey Hey guys, this is Renae from the Space Between podcast. I'm Renae Lipsmeyer. I am in Wilmington, North Carolina here for day 2 of Stop 7 in the United States Dave Matthews Band Tour. And I've got a couple of fans with me here who have interesting stories. And that's what this podcast is all about, are the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. So I have Johnny and Ben here, and I'm going to let them take over and tell us a little bit how they started as fans and kind of worked their way up to do a little bit more to be closer to the band experience.
And suddenly it's now Johnny and Benny.
The Johnny and Ben Show.
Hi, guys. Hi, Renae. Thanks for having us on this lovely podcast of yours. Just how we started off, I've been a fan since, I was in 8th grade, the first time I ever heard a Dave Matthews Band song, and the obsession began. I'm not a big numbers guy. All these people, big numbers. I want to go to this 500 show. It's not about numbers to me. This is 162. It's been a fun ride here in Wilmington with Ben, Ben's wife Danielle. It's great to be here with fans, friendly, awesome time in Wilmington.
Yeah. Well said.
Well said.
For me, sort of the same kind of story. I began this long journey. I look today 26 years ago. I won't say when I started. That will date me. But it was 26 years ago, and really what got me intrigued was a young lady that I was seeing at the time was a big fiddler, and she thought it was really crazy that there was a violin in a rock band and insisted that we went and saw them, and I was mortified to go do this. And I just remember walking in and hearing them and being like, it was in a small little frat house, and I just remember looking around and everybody was talking and carrying on and nobody was really watching, and I thought, how are they not listening to these guys? This is incredible. And from there it was just, I think I went beyond that. I think that might have been the last time she went, and luckily, a breakup didn't ruin anything for me. So but yeah, ever since then, I think I'm at 130-something shows now, and I've, been all over the United States and doing it. And for me, joining the DMB family and being admins on that really kind of tied it all together for me. As I felt like I had a little bit of information that I could share with people, and whether it be, what is it like in Pitt? Does everybody like lawn? What's the easiest way to get tickets? Just simple things we take for granted now because we have all these answers. But for people that are trying to start out, I feel like it can be a really big anxiety experience because they don't know all the answers, and everybody is so knowledgeable because they followed the bands for years that now we could kind of give tips and information and be a platform that people could share all their stories and tips and information. So
exactly. I don't consider Ben and I by any means experts to the DMB family. You want me to hold the microphone? Yeah, I can do that.
You go.
I don't consider myself a Dave Matthews Band expert by no means, but I mean, together, Ben and I and our other admins, let's give them shout outs: Vicky, Carrie, Nico, Kristen, Fabio, Ben. Well, you're already here.
Yeah. And Johnny, don't forget Johnny.
Johnny too.
Yeah,
and
Johnny,
Matt Clark and Peter Ferraro. I mean, we collectively, together, I'd say we're in Josh Roberts' category, possibly 500 shows.
Yeah.
But we all bring our own little expertise to it. I'm big into the posters, so it's any questions about posters generally are directed my direction. Ben, again, pit experience. I'm not a big pit guy. I don't like standing in the pit. But the Dave Matthews Band family, Renae, you're a part of it. We are a collective group of close to now almost 40,000 people.
Second biggest.
Second largest fan group of Dave Matthews fans, where everybody loves this band. Everybody has their reasons for loving this band. We're a platform where I want you to show that fire dancer you saw in the mall parking lot or driving on the highway, or your fan experience. You have done a great job collectively of your photos and your experiences on this tour. So keep sharing those pictures, share the music, share the love of the band, and that's all we ask.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited about for night 2 of Wilmington? And then are y'all headed to Charleston?
I am not headed to Charleston right now, but Ben is eagerly sticking a knife in my back and pointing me in the right direction, so possibly. But we are definitely, I'm excited tonight. Not saying I saw a spoiler set list from last night, but Ants was crossed off. Ants always gets me in the mood, but I mean, that would hopefully be a encore. But then, hey, Dave Talk, let's go. Fans. So, but tonight, the ending of Lying in Our Graves was a little bit, to some people, it didn't end the way it always ends. Get ready for night 2, Wilmington. Wilmington's been just to recap my experience here, it's been fun. I've gotten to hang out with some family, and I've gotten to hang out with some D&B family. So tonight's going to be a great night. I think the band was just warming up last night.
Hello, everybody. This is Dave Rich from the Eddie Casino Band out in Las Vegas. We're really excited to get this journey going, celebrating our music, our original music, on all platforms. We just released our first single over Labor Day weekend called Eddie Casino. If you're looking for new music, look out for our next single coming out to Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music. These guys in the band are really excited to get started playing music for you all. If you like Tom Petty, Zach Brown, Jason Mraz, Dave Matthews Band, Rob Thomas, Jimmy Buffett, Pink Floyd, Stapleton, Bare Naked Ladies, Goose, Billy Strings, Sting and the Police, a ton of influences that we bring to the table. Hope you enjoy our music and look forward to seeing you soon live on stage.
Yeah, night 2, I think we're getting into, this is the first 2-nighter. So this really is sort of uncharted waters for this year. So the first 2-nighter is always interesting of how the band will navigate through it. You got an album year. You're not trying to stick all the new songs into one night. Now you're spreading it out over 2. What else are they going to pull out? So I think we had 2 or 3 liberations last night, which was nice.
That Seek Up last night.
Yeah, and
18-something minutes.
Yeah. These
Great.
are what we keep coming back for, is little treats like this. So tonight, what will we get? Who knows? I expect a few more liberations, probably a couple more new jams off of the new album. But yeah, running into a bunch of people that, since there was no big Virginia shows and no big, amphitheater shows in North Carolina, this was it for that area. So you're cramming thousands of fans into 7,000 arena, and so the energy is really good in there. I thought
the vibe was awesome.
Yeah, I thought the feel in there was great. I thought the staff was excellent there. They were super nice, and so it was really fun. And I'm excited for a few little treats tonight as well. Yeah.
So last thing, if someone's watching and they've never really gotten into the Dave Matthews Band, kind of explain what it is to you and how you would introduce a new fan to the Dave Matthews Band.
You're going to make me go first? Wow. Okay.
In 2023, so not in 1991. In 2023, explain who the Dave Matthews Band is.
Okay. Who is DMB in 2023? Yeah, I think
Not
really.
Your grandmother's Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, but they've mellowed.
Dave Matthews Band has mellowed drastically.
Yeah.
But as any person who's been doing this for 20, 30 years, I'm not as sharp as I was in my early years. I'm dating myself now.
Yeah.
But it's they keep the ground going. They keep the energy going. Dave loves the crowd just as much as, I think your wife's texting. No, that's another. No, but she's like, wrap it up. No, but it's just a matter of this band is still doing something they have had passion for doing for 30 plus years, and that's what makes me as a fan happy and get go. It's still positive. It's still friendly. We just met yesterday officially, but we've been communicating on Facebook for months. But it's a matter of this band is doing things right. It's a good experience. 2023 Dave Matthews Band, you'll still have the experiences I had when I first started learning of this band. Go. Thanks for holding the microphone, by the way.
Anything for you. Anything, buddy.
Here, I'll hold it for you on this one.
Oh, my God.
Let's do it that way.
Right. For me, Johnny, it would be, they're kind of like your favorite old pair of pants, you know? Like, you put them on, that band is now just settled in. They're comfortable. They've perfected their edges, and they've sanded them down a little bit. They've gotten into the groove. They're just comfy now, you know? They're not singing these drug-soaked, songs and jamming out for hours. They're singing about things that is important to middle-aged men with kids. They're singing about where our world is going and where our future is and how we're going to protect kids and things like that. And it's something I can relate to. So as I've grown up with them, they've grown up, and now we're kind of simpatico. We're kind of moving along the same way in life. And I think anybody who joins them now, I think they're going to appreciate the message the same way. It's a different message they're pushing, even though back in the day they were always, we got to protect the world and we've got to do things the right way. Now it's more of a poignant message that they're pushing. Definitely. And I appreciate that as a dad and everything else, and how I've gotten older and my ideals and ways of thinking have changed. And I kind of feel the band has too, and they've kind of settled into a groove of where they like to be. And it's one of those bands that it's like a nice, warm, your favorite pair of pants, man. Like, no matter what, you're always wanting to put them on because they just feel good and it's comfortable and it's familiar,
Amazing. Like,
they're like my family now up there, They're singing something that I've been
Tears
around
are coming
for
in
years,
my eyes.
I remember you heard this first on the Space Between. That was fucking awesome.
It's,
Let's make a t-shirt of that. They're like your favorite pair of pants.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Quote, Ben Crowley, Wilmington, Night 2, 2023. I love it.
Let's do it.
I'm making this, definitely.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Definitely, thank you so much. Just let's give it up for the D&B family. Woo!
Woo! And give it up to you for doing this. Thank you for
great, awesome podcast.
Around and getting everybody's views. I think some people like to hear our views sometimes, some not, but it's out there, and I think you're doing a good thing. Getting the fans a perspective, I think that
it's a great story.
It's always great to hear everybody else's reasoning of why they do this crazy stuff that we do every tour. So.
Yeah, if you're not listening to this podcast, something's wrong with you.
Yes, I agree.
Something's wrong.
Something is wrong with me, though. That's why I'm doing the podcast.
Oh, you said it. No, I'm joking. No, thank you. It's been great.
Cheers. Thank you.
Let's go get a beer.
Hey guys, so this is a different way to come to you guys at the end of a show, but I'm on my way to Charleston, and so it was either like parking lot, car, whatever. So my crew has kind of split up a little bit. We're all going in different directions. Christine had to go back to Idaho because she's a hoe. That's what we've been saying the whole weekend. Karen, who's also been with me since Arkansas, is headed to Charleston, but in a different car. And so I've met up with my friends, and so we are on our way to Charleston. So we're just gonna do a little post-show review of Wilmington. Of course, it was the first time for the band to play there, and what they said had been like 20 years or something, but I don't believe they'd ever played at the venue like it is now. It's a reinvented space. It looks a lot like a park. So if you've never been to Wilmington, which most people haven't, because again, this was their first time, we've got some fans loading up in their car next to me. We're doing a caravan to Charleston. So it definitely was a park vibe. It was like being in the middle of, I don't know, just like a city park. Everything was flat. So the lawn is flat in Wilmington, which I heard negative and positive things about both. A lot of people did have trouble seeing because in most lawn spaces there's an elevation or at least some hills so that you can see,
over the crowd if you're in the back of the lawn. That was not the case here in Wilmington. It really was just kind of surrounded by a lot of condos, townhomes, businesses, restaurants. So a city vibe for sure. But also it's the smallest venue so far on the U.S. tour that we have seen. So it maxes out at about 7,500 capacity. So it's a very small venue, smaller than Arkansas, which was a surprise for me because, of course, being from there, our max is somewhere between 10 and 12. I can't remember exactly. So for this one to be a 7,500 max, it's a small venue, but I can't imagine them fitting more people in there because of the way that it's laid out. Would I come back to Wilmington? I felt like the set list was worth being here. The people were worth being here. The venue, just my personal opinion, not my favorite. And that's okay. I wasn't here for the venue. I was here for the band, and I was here for the fans of the band, right? So the venue is not everything, but it's not my favorite, and that's my opinion, and it's okay to have that. So let's talk about the set lists. So because my editor is amazing, he has night 1 and night 2 up for us so we can see the comparisons. We got a lot of wonderful songs, but I would say that no matter what they sang, because that's the way I feel about everything they sing. So we had a lot of tour debuts, which we knew that we would have. Just having a 2-night stretch, that just means that you're going to get more because you're here for longer, right? So this was the first time I believe that Stay or Leave was ever an opener. So night 1, he opened up with Stay or Leave, which honestly, I like that song a lot, but it's not been done as an opener. And so then Funny the Way It Is, Seek Up. Seek Up, one of my best memories. That particular night, I got to be in the pit. And I'm such a nerd when it comes to these songs. I'm the girl that times the Seek Ups. And so for someone else to go, I wonder how long it's going to be, and kind of took bets around, like, what do you think? What do you think? My guess was 17 minutes, and it was 18 minutes. So we got an 18-minute Seek Up, and it was fabulous. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to night 1 of Wilmington, definitely check that out. Then it went from Seek Up to Madman's Eyes, When the World Ends, Satellite, Typical Situation. So Typical Situation was the song that was the gateway for me into the Dave Matthews Band. I think it's such an amazing song. I remember falling in love with the band through this song. So to hear it was special for me. Break Free was next. And of course, if you follow me, you know that's my jam. I can't do anything. I got the tattoo right here. I got a new tattoo. I look like a fucking mess, but I got a new tattoo, so I'll show that to you later. Break Free, It Could Happen, Lie in Our Graves. Mary, I'm sorry. I keep getting Lie in Our Graves. It's like the one song that Bob wants to hear and he can't fucking get it. And I've gotten it like so many times. I'm sorry. Crash Into Me, Don't Drink the Water, Virginia in the Rain. What Would You Say? Never would I have imagined that What Would You Say would be one of my favorite songs of the night. But it fucking was, because the way they did it. And that's what keeps me coming back to this band. You can hear a song over and over and over, and then one day you hear it and it's completely different, or maybe it just like resonates differently in your head that day. But that night, What Would You Say won it for me, and that's my opinion, but I fucking loved it that night. You and Me, Always the Sweet, Water into Wine, that was special, and like I loved every bit of it. And then went into the Warehouse. We haven't gotten a Warehouse with the Woos yet on this tour. So I hope that I get to be present when we break out the Woos for the first time. If not, just know that I'm going to be salty as shit. I'm just joking. But I am excited for whoever gets the Woos first. So shout out to the band. Can we get some Woos with the Warehouse? I would love that. But if not, that's cool too. I love it anyways. Okay. So then, of course, we take a break. And then we come back for Looking for a Vein and Gray Street. Again, Gray Street is, it's everybody's favorite, right? Like, we love it. Yes, it's played a lot, but I love it. And here's why. The very end of that song, we'll say verse 3 for conversation's sake. When he says, she feels like kicking out all the windows and setting fire to this life. She would change everything about her using colors, bold and bright. If that doesn't speak to you, like it speaks to me, because I'm that gal that decided you know what? I'm gonna change my life. I'm in my 40s, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not too old to do whatever it is that I want to do. And so here we go, and I'm changing my life, and I'm doing all this crazy shit, and I'm having a blast. And so when I hear Gray Street and I hear that verse where she's just like kicking out all the windows and setting fire to this life, yes, I hear it. And that's everything to me right now. So night 1, super successful. Night 2 was the bomb as well. And I just dated myself saying the bomb, but I don't give a fuck. Okay, so night 2, Bismarck opener. So we've seen that a couple times, but we love it, right? Then Pig, always fun. Sweet, and Squirm. And while I have read the lyrics to Squirm, and my vote is, this is not about sex, obviously. It's about like making someone read the lyrics, find out what Squirm is about. But no matter what, I think it's the way that it's done, like musically, is so fucking sexy. I love that song. Walk Around the Moon, Louisiana Bayou. And I know that was going straight to Suzanne's World. She loves that fucking song, so that was straight to you. I know we FaceTimed her when Louisiana Bayou came on, because I know she loves it so much. Grace Is Gone, Crush. Now, I circled Crush because Crush is just one of those songs, right? It is, it's the moment where the Fonz gets to come out and like the spotlight's on him, and he gets to just play that bass, and like all eyes are on him, which typically, you know, on stage people watch him, but he's not like the highlight. He doesn't have the lights on him where it's just like, look at him, see what he can do. And always Crush is just such a great way to highlight his talents. And so it was an extended version. They did a great job of highlighting each person's talents in the band. And so Crush was definitely one of my favorites for night 2. And then I Want You, which is a cover by the Beatles. Sexy as fuck. So be sure to listen to that. After Everything, P&P and Rapunzel, The Ocean and the Butterfly, and then number 27. I saw so many people lose their shit over number 27. It was beautifully done, and I was so glad that I got to hear that. Dancing Nancy's All You Wanted Was Tomorrow, Monsters, Kill the Preacher Man, Into Why I Am, Jimmy Thing, Brick House, which we've heard many times this tour, but every time it's fabulous. I love it. I love the energy that comes along with it. I like to watch people sing because everyone knows those words. And then it's just a fun, sexy song, right? Something to Tell My Baby and Ants Marching was the closer for Wilmington. So as you can tell, I've lost my voice, but I'm still having a blast chasing my dreams. Again, if you don't know my story, I'm a nurse that decided to take a year off to kind of find myself and what made me happy. And what makes me happy is chasing this band, but more importantly, like talking to the fans of this band and like seeing what your story is. So far, I've got to see people get engaged, people that are on their baby moons, people that are, just doing life like all of us. And we've all got shit at home. We've all got things. We've all got work. We've all got kids. We've all got our spouses. We've all got shit. But when we get together and we do Dave Matthews Band together, we're family, right? We're just family, and it's wonderful. And all of those things that you don't want to think about are gone. And so it's just 2 to 3 hours or a day, depending on how you do it, just filled of love and friendship and family. And so that's why I continue to chase this band. That's why I'm losing my voice, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I feel amazing. So we're on our way to Charleston. We've got some really special interviews that I got to do in Wilmington, and I know that those are all part of this video. So I'm just so thankful to everyone that has been willing to share their story, to share their views, to share their likes, their dislikes, what makes them tick, and how they found this band, because I love your story. And if you have an amazing story that you want to share with me, be sure to look me up on all the socials. Again, if you're listening to this on a podcast, you can watch it. I don't know why you would want to, but you can watch it. You can watch all of this on YouTube under the Space Between podcast with Renae Lipsmeyer. So be sure to check that out. And be sure to share this with any Dave Matthews Band fans that you may know. I hope that everyone gets to watch Charleston. We're so excited. Of course, this will be on XM Radio Friday night. So we've got 2 more nights
here in South Carolina. And then I'm going to take a little break until Deer Creek. So guys, thank you again for watching. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.